Hi all, welcome to Aswin's Career Talk. Today I'll be giving you access to a presentation that our brand CGP Career Avenues under Eximo Private Limited has done for mechanical students. I myself and Rahul Shivakumar were the speakers. We talked about the various career opportunities for mechanical students, private companies recruiting, how our organization CGP Career Avenues help in training students to get into PSUs, IATs and ISRO. Rahul spoke about opportunities for students in foreign countries like Germany. So please watch this webinar. Thank you.
So, dear students and dear Rahul, so let us have a very interactive session on the career opportunities for mechanical students. So, we'll be addressing the placement opportunities in India, PSU recruitments, what all exams you have to prepare on, how to get internships in good companies, and after this, we'll be open to your queries. At any point of time, you can also unmute and ask or put in the chat box. I also welcome my colleague, Mr. Rajesh. He's the CTO of Eximo Private Limited. So I think we have students from second year to final year attending this webinar. So hope all of you are safe in this time of pandemic. So mechanical students have got wide range of opportunities in public sector and also in private sectors. So some of you are passing out in 2021, some of you are graduating in 22, some are graduating in 2023. Let us discuss about the opportunities each of you are going to have. Now, when talks about the opportunities, primarily IES, Indian Engineering Service, is the most important exam for a mechanical student. Okay, and this exam is both subjective as well as objective. You can take when you are in the final semester, and after that also once you graduate also you can take this exam. It's one of the most prestigious exam for any engineer. We can call it like engineer civil service exam. Okay, I'll talk about that in detail. I'll now brief you about GATE. GATE stands for Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering, right? It is the second most important exam for mechanical students. So I'll put in this way, if you prepare well for GATE, you can crack any exam for central or state government in mechanical except for Indian Engineering Service. Okay, you can crack SSC, JE, Railway, all these exams, ISRO exams, all these exams. So the preparation for GATE make you competent to crack government jobs and public sector undertaking jobs, state PSC jobs, and sometimes for MTech in IITs, NITs, and MS abroad, right? And our discussion will focus on GATE also. Then there is another option. You can do Master in Design, NID, National Institute of Design conduct entrance exam, and they give it is open for all UG students, and there will be separate openings for engineering students in NID. Okay, you can do Master in Design in top IITs. Okay, some IITs admit through GATE score also. Then there's provision to do PG or PG diploma in Indian Maritime University in Naval Architecture, Ocean Engineering, and Marine Engineering. Now, when we talk about MTech, generally we refer to 2-year MTech program. We call it as Teaching Assistant MTech program. Okay, by default, most of the MTech programs are 2-year MTech program. Some IITs like IIT Bombay offers RA MTech. It is called Research Assistant MTech. And here the research component will be higher compared to teaching MTech, teaching assistant MTech. Okay, so many people working in R&D establishments are sponsored for RA MTech, okay, which is of 3 years. Then there is provision for direct PhD program in IITs. So it's one of the few programs where you can apply for PhD without a PG or master's degree. Then there is integrated PhD options in IIT Madras and all major IITs. Then MS by design, MS by research, MTech by research, and MSc. Then you can do Master in Design, DIGMA certifications, and many students, especially mechanical, are passionate in physics. Okay, so I have seen many students from mechanical stream have asked me what to do if we want to pursue research in physics. So there's an excellent opportunity in IAAP, Indian Institute for Astrophysics. You can do integrated PhD in Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Then you can apply for research program through just exam in TIFR, Tata Institute for Fundamental Research. So after mechanical also these options are open. Some students are also applying for JAM examination for getting MSc admissions in physics in IITs. And many of you would dream to serve our country through defense forces. For you people, there is an entrance exam in through GATE in Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, Pune. You can apply through GATE. Okay. And then there's another option. Many students are not aware about that. It is called fellowship program offered by IAMs. Okay. So here it is a program equivalent to PhD. Admission is based on CAT or GATE or JRF or GRE score. Okay. IAM Calicut admits only through CAT. All other major IAMs admit through GATE also. Here you can do fellowship in HR, you can do fellowship in system, you can do fellowship in OR and fellowship in marketing. Okay. So this will take at least 4 years to complete. After that, you are awarded a degree which is equivalent to PhD. Understood? So here you'll be getting a monthly stipend. As of now, it is 25,000 rupees. MHRD is planning to enhance it. Okay. And after this 4-year program, you are awarded a degree equivalent to PhD and your salary will be on average 15 lakhs per annum. So it's a golden opportunity for students. You can try think about fellowship program in IIMs. Then you can also apply for naval architecture course in IIT Kharagpur. Sometimes they conduct their own exam and some seats are filled through GATE. Then you can do MTech and MBA in NITI Mumbai. Now, when we talk about campus placements, when we talk about campus placements, majority of the companies that come for recruitment are service-based companies. Okay, and recruitments happen when you are in the 7th semester, right? And many of you would have already been placed, and some of you don't want to go for a private company, so you may be studying for government jobs or SSC jobs. It's well up to you. Okay, so first thing I would like to advise you is don't think that mechanical students or aeronautical students or automobile students have any role in IT industry. It's absolutely a wrong concept. You can play a dominant role in IT industry. So when we talk about campus placements, companies like TCS, Infosys, CTS, Accenture recruit in large number. Of course, they are service-based companies. 3 to 4 years before TCS, they conduct direct interview for core brand students who had 8.5 GPA or 80 percentage and above. Okay. So these students didn't have to write aptitude test. They were called for direct interview. And after they attend the direct interview, if their performance was good, TCS used to give offer letter. Okay. So there was no aptitude test or GD for those students with 8.5 GPA or 80 percentage above. So why it is so? Here, mechanical students will be deployed in core sector in TCS. So what do you mean by core sector in IT companies? So when we talk about large companies like Infosys, TCS, or even IBS or UST Global, these companies also have to develop software for mechanical firms. Okay, they have to develop software for thermal plants. They may have to develop software for industrial units. So here the inputs are provided by the mechanical or aeronautical or automobile or production engineers. Okay, so design is done by them. Of course, coding is done by developers. So mechanical students also have a dominant role in IT industry. And if you are not passionate in coding, if you don't like coding, then you can apply for QA, QC, or software testing post in IT companies, where you have to just do the debugging or testing this stuff. You can do manual testing, or you can use automated tools like Selenium, QC, QTP, and all. Right? So opportunities are there in abundance in IT companies for mechanical also. Some students from NITs are now preparing on data science using R programming language because they're using probability and statistic tools to get into IT industry, but they don't want the pure coding like Python, so they have opted for R programming. So these opportunities are open for all students. So never feel that IT is confined only to circuit branch. You can also play a dominant role in IT industry. And a couple of weeks before, we conducted a program called Interview Mastery with HRs of reputed company. There, one Mr. Balamurli, he's the director of quality wing in Nest Technologies. He was advising students that mechanical students or civil students can also work as lead auditors or quality auditors in big firms. These firms sometimes do ISO auditing and all like that. There will be quality check and inspection in all companies. So you have got dominant role in these sectors also. So opportunities are again in abundance. Now, how to do internships in companies? Majority of the companies provide internships based on your skills. Of course, for the current fourth semester student, if you perform well in gate 22, that is you are sorry gate you are eligible to write gate in Essex when you are in Essex. If you perform well in gate 22, based on your gate score, you can apply for internship in good companies, and all companies will be happy to provide you internship on that. Other than that, if you perform well in codathons or hackathons or ideathons, companies will be happy to provide you internships. I know a couple of mechanical students who are doing internships in companies like Tata Elxsi based on their work in electric vehicle design and related projects. So they are interdisciplinary projects, right? So EVD is a good option. So based on your skill set, if you perform well in these codathons or hackathons or ideathons and put there in your profile or resume, almost all companies will be happy to provide you internships, because generally companies don't want to spend too much of time on interns, especially for those students who have to spend time for academics also. If your entire semester is dedicated for projects, a different thing altogether, but unfortunately it is not the case. So you should be excellent in something for company to provide you internship. So these are the main opportunities in government sector. Okay, government sectors and PSUs. And these are the opportunities in private sector. I heard that Bosch may be conducting recruitment drive for mechanical and electrical students in this upcoming 2 months. They may conduct a drive maybe for accredited colleges and top colleges, and sometimes it may be open to all, where 8.5 GPA and above students with 8.5 GPA and above may be eligible to attend. Now, Now, I'll just like to share a few words also about the subjects you have to prepare, right? So, we all know, I'll talk about GATE exam and the prospects first. I'm not using any slide now. I'm not sharing anything now. I'm just using the chat box. Okay. So, I'm going to brief you about the GATE and the opportunities. Now, until 2014, students used to write GATE exam only for getting admission for MTech. Okay, they used to write GATE only for getting admissions for MTechs, and they used to get monthly stipend also. But since 2014, majority of the students write GATE to get into PSUs, public sector undertakings. Around 72 PSUs are recruiting students based on the GATE score. Understood? 72 PSUs are recruiting students based on the GATE score. So the advantage is you can go for MTech or you can go for PSU jobs based on the GATE score, right? And second advantage is GATE score is valid for 3 years. Suppose a student who is having GATE score in 2021, current final year, that score is valid for 21, 22, and 23. Best of two will always be taken and you can improve upon also. And if your GATE score is not excellent, you can join a company, maybe work there for 2 years, and then you can improve on based on your GATE score and look into better options. Okay, the current Essex students, you can study really well and write GATE in 22. Okay, And based on that gate score, you can apply for MTech admissions or PSUs, right? For the S4 students, you have got a golden opportunity. That is, while studying itself, you can write gate in 22 and in 23 when you are in 6th semester and when you are in 8th semester. Okay, so there's no tension for you, and this 22 gate used as a launching pad for GATE 23 and subsequent exams. So this is how you can prepare for GATE. GATE score is valid for 3 years. Okay, and always best of two is taken. There's no age limit for GATE, but for PSUs recruiting through GATE, there's an age limit because some PSUs encourage have an upper age of 27, some have 29, some have 32, like that. So it's always good if you perform well in this at the earliest. Now, what are the subjects to study? Now, I'm not talking about the subjects you study for GATE. I'm talking for this, I'm mentioning the subjects you have to study for any engineering exam in India. Okay, so these are the subjects: mechanics, strength of materials, fluid mechanics, thermodynamics, thermal, HMD, heat and mass transfer, theory of machines, machine design, vibrations, industrial, and manufacturing. So these are the subjects you have to study for any job in mechanical. Okay. Now for ISR also the syllabus is same as that. Okay, you have to study these subjects thoroughly. For SSC JE, thermodynamics remain to be thermodynamics. For railway JE, the subject remains to be same. So if you are proficient in these subjects, you can crack government or PSU jobs in mechanical without any difficulty. That means it is not as easy as I say, but it is not as difficult as some of the students thinking. Okay. Now for GATE exam, there will be 65 questions. 15 marks will be from aptitude. Aptitude means the max you studied from 4th standard to 9th standard. Now, anyway, all of you, okay, whether you want to work in mechanical firm or IT firm, you all must attend placement process. Joining is another thing, but it will give you extra confidence and backup option. Even if you are selected in TCS, Infosys, it's nothing wrong in that. Okay, you have to attend placement process. For that, anyway, you have to prepare aptitude. So max from 4th standard to 9th standard, like ratio, proportion, HCF, LCM, percentage, profit loss, and all, and verbal questions. Okay, so this account to 15 marks in GATE exam. Okay, 15 marks in GATE exam. Then other than that, you have to study engineering maths. Engineering maths will include linear algebra, differential equations, calculus, probability, numerical methods, complex numbers, and vectors. It again constitutes 15 marks. So if a student answers all the questions from maths and aptitude correctly, he or she may get 30 marks. Understood? He or she may get 30 marks. That means you are eligible to get monthly stipend if you do MTech anywhere in India. Okay, you are eligible to get monthly stipend if you do MTech anywhere in India. Normal qualifying mark is 25 on average. Sometimes it has gone up to 32. That means you qualifying gate means you have passed the gate exam. So if you do MTech anywhere in India, MHRD will be paying you monthly stipend. Now it is 12,000 rupees per month. It is always in the plan to enhance to 25,000 rupees per month. But last year it didn't happen because government is investing money on corona and related research. So it has not happened. So anytime it may be enhanced to 25,000 rupees per month. That means even if you work in a small company, they may pay you, like if it is a core company, they may pay you only 8,000 to 12,000 rupees, saying that you are not experienced. But at the same time, if you do MTech, you are getting monthly stipend, which is as of now 12,000. It may be up to 25,000 rupees. But if you do MTech from IITs, okay, IITs are planning to stop stipend and introduce some scholarship schemes where you may be doing some projects straight away with some companies and they'll be paying on monthly basis. Okay, so you may get up to 35,000 rupees per month if you do MTech from IITs or NITs. Second year itself, you will be in project. You'll be doing projects for some R&D establishments and again getting monthly stipend. Okay, so that is a golden opportunity. MTech from IITs and NITs will definitely make you stand tall, right? So this is one point I would like to stress. And secondly, mechanical students can write GATE in mechanical, and you can also opt engineering science as the second paper. Okay, from this year onwards, you can write GATE in two papers. You can opt for mechanical and engineering science, or you can opt for industry, production industrial and engineering science. You cannot write mechanical and PI. This time you can write mechanical engineering science or PI and engineering science or aeronautical engineering science. Any combination you can take. Aeronautical students can also write GATE in aeronautical engineering science, PA engineering science, or mechanical and engineering science. So the advantages with engineering science, again, questions will be from maths and aptitude, 30 marks will be from that. And then you have to choose two subjects from 12 subjects. 12 subjects. You have to choose 12 subjects from 12, two subjects from 12 subjects. And most of the students, they shortlist three from the 12. And three are SM, FM, and thermodynamics. Okay, shortlist three from these 12 and choose any two, SMFM or SM and thermo or FM and thermo. Okay, and you can write GATE in engineering science also. When we talk about PSU opportunities, majority of the PSUs are recruiting based on your GATE score in mechanical. Okay, so I used to advise to PI students also that for getting into PSUs, the better thing would be to write GATE in mechanical engineering. Okay, and second paper, of course, you can choose engineering science. It will give you an additional option. I also think you can choose also instead of engineering science, you can choose physics or maths also. I'm not sure about that. You can choose, I suppose. So only two papers you can write. One can be mechanical, second paper can be engineering science or right. So this is now I'll come back to the presentation. So some students always ask which is the better option, MTech or MBA. Okay, it is purely depends. It purely depends on that student. So I will tell you the difference when we talk about MTech. Okay, admission is through GATE and you are getting monthly stipend for GATE. Okay, and GATE score is valid for 3 years. Okay, at the same time, if a student writes CAT exam and go for MBA, we call it like PGDM in IAMs. Okay, here you don't get any stipend. CAT score is valid only for the first year. GATE score is valid for 3 years. In CAT MBA, you're not getting monthly stipend, and fees will be around 15 lakhs if you do PGDM in IAMs. But every bank will be happy to provide you loan, and after completing your PGDM, your average salary will be 15 lakhs per annum on average. Okay. At the same time, if a student does MTech in IIT, he'll be getting monthly stipend. GATE score is obviously valid for 3 years, and after the course, you may get the same package like 12 to 15 lakhs per annum. But it is purely the student's decision. If you are passionate towards management, go for that. If you are passionate towards GATE, you go for MTech. Understood? It purely depends on you. So you always have to go with your passion. Nothing will stop you from going with your passion. So some students may be forced to do something. It's not like that. You purely go with your passion. Now, how to clear these competitive exams? Only one way is out. You may get, sometimes you may get good marks in university exam in the last minute preparation, which is never advisable, but you may get through. But for clearing competitive exams, systematic preparation is required from day one, because you are competing with the best in India. So your competing competence should be really good. Now, passionate is like if you are finding a career in mechanical, if you want to pursue a career in mechanical, you can think about GATE. But you would like, if you are moved by HR stuff or marketing stuff or crisis management, you can think about MBA. And I can also be at Career Avenues, we neutrally do some counseling to students also, one to one. We don't charge any money for that, and help you to identify your passion. It's on a completely in a neutral way, not endorse students to join for our GATE program for that. So This is how you have to prepare. You have to consistently study. It is not like New Year resolution that we take in January, is that we'll study everything on time and then forget in between. So you have to systematically study. For the current S6 students, my advice is, if you dedicate 25 hours every month, you can really perform well in gate 22, right? 25 hours in CGP, our organization Center for Gate and Placement, CGP, we arrange live classes twice a week. And if a student misses the live class, it is provided as recorded so that students can watch at their convenience. And anytime faculty will be there to clear your doubts also in online mode. Okay, and Trivandrum we have classroom program. Thrissur and Kollam also we have classroom program. But anyway, now it is only online available. So this is the way, and every week there will be tests. So it's up to you how to make use of the system, but will be there throughout to support it. For the current ESPO students, again repeat, never hesitate to start preparing for it, because you have got a golden opportunity to write GATE in 22. About S6 students, current S6 students, you also had that opportunity, but many students, they were not aware about that. Only when they reached S7, I mean, GATE has allowed S6 students to write the GATE exam. So many have not started preparing till that. But for the S4 students, you can keep this in mind and really, really work hard and perform well in GATE 22. So the two advantages there, you won't be under any stress or tension when you write GATE 22, because there's always GATE 23 for you when you are in the campus itself. And secondly, best of two is taken, and there's no and if even if you study 5 subjects thoroughly for GATE 22, it can be used as a launching pad for GATE 23. You can treat it that way. So these are the PSUs recruiting mechanical students from mechanical gate and industrial gate. Okay, and always there are PSCs also recruiting students, okay, not through gate, but they're on their exam. For example, now PSC has invited application for lecturer in polytechnic. Here the eligibility is BTech. So if you are passionate towards teaching without MTech, you can apply for lecturer in polytechnic. Not now, if you are pass out student, if you were pass out student. Okay, the syllabus is almost same as that of gate. In addition to the you don't have to study maths in that detail. You have to study +2 level maths. Then you have to study basic electrical, basic mechanical, basic civil, and basic electronics that you study in the first year for Kerala PSC technical exams. Okay, so there are then you can write SSC, railway, JE, and all these exams. On average, you may be getting 9 to 12 opportunities every year apart from the gate. That means you may be getting around opportunities in 84 companies. Through gate, around 72 to 75 companies are covered. So you may be getting that many opportunities. Airport Authority of India conducts recruitment once in 2 years or 3 years. So there, mechanical and civil students have got their, you can write your paper also. Apart from that, also you can apply for ATC, Air Traffic Controller, where exam is based on 11, 12, physics, maths, and GK, and aptitude. So these are the advantages of coaching program. Of course, you can study on your own also, nothing wrong in that. But when you go for a structured coaching program, a highly qualified faculty members with years of experience will be there to guide you with complete books and test series with national ranking. You know where you stand nationally. Okay. And the most important thing is, once you paid the fees, you're more serious into the system. Okay. So the time that you invest for working out the questions could be invested, more time you invest to study the concepts on your own could be invested for solving maximum questions if you go for a structured coaching program. In CGP Career Revenues, we offer a national level support. Once a student joins us, they can study till they get into IIT, ISRO, or PSU without any additional fees. Okay, you can study with us till you get into IIT or ISR or PSU or any state PSC government exams related to engineering without any additional fees. They provide complete placement training also as part of this program. Okay, and interview training for if you are shortlisted for ISR or PSU. Okay, and two things we do in advance. Whenever a student plans to join us, we share the faculty pool in advance so students know who all are going to teach them and what about their qualifications. This is how we maintain the transparency. Second thing what we do is we share the recorded videos of the previous live classes so that students will know the quality, because students have right to know the who all are taking the classes and things like that, and also should know. I mean, there are so many competitors around, so they should know where we stand and how is the quality of session. So we share the recorded video of the classes in advance so that they purely know the quality of classes. Then there will be sessional test, 14 to 16 books, all India mock test series. We provide counseling also to manage your stress, because many students what they did is in plus two they were not able to manage properly, because in tuition class some subjects were taught, same in different subjects were taught in schools. In order to avoid that, what we do is every time we take subjects relevant to the semester first. So this helps in the university exam preparation also. For example, if you have to study thermodynamics in a semester, we teach that subject first in that semester. So it helps in university exams also. Sometimes subject may not match the university semester subject. Okay, otherwise we plan in that way so that it helps you to score more marks in university exams also. And another thing, we would be happy to inform you that for the current final year students, we have an exclusive plan. Those students who pass, you will be completing your course in June. You can, after your university exam, you can join first for our 3 months intensive program and study in such a way that even if you join the company where you are placed, you can just revise on Saturdays and Sundays, because every day will be arranging class on July, August, and September. In between, if you get admission for MTech or join the companies where you are placed, you can continue on Saturdays and Sundays. So we'll be teaching you in such a way that after joining your companies or MTech program, you just have to dedicate on Saturdays and Sundays. For the current S6 students, you can have to dedicate 25 hours per month, and after gate 22 the batch will migrate to ISR exams and goes on. ISR recruitment for 2021 pass out batch should happen by September, October, not because it was supposed to be happen conducted on June, July, but because of corona it's getting extended. Even notification didn't come. So now I'll just pause for a minute to answer your queries before I hand over to the speaker. Doubts, please be free to comment. Of course, to get into PSU, you should have a very good gate score. Okay. So some students prefer IITs over PSUs, but generally students prefer PSU over IITs. Okay. So first preference is going to PSUs, then to IITs, and then to NITs. Okay. So your rank should be normally somewhere under 200 to get into good PSUs, or at least at times to get into good PSUs, your rank should be under 100. And one more thing, every year, for example, BARC, they recruit through GATE. Okay, if there are 500 vacancies, 250 are filled through GATE, and remaining 250 are filled through their own exam they conduct every year, which the pattern is same as that of GATE. Okay, so BARC conducts their own exam other than recruiting from GATE. Same with DRDO, IOCL, Kochi Shipyard, and all these PSUs also conduct their own exam to recruit students. So 50% of the seats are filled through GATE and 50 through their own exam, whose pattern is same as that of GATE. So the advantages for a hardworking student, even if you have an off day, your hard work will not let you down, because you have got 9 to 12 opportunities coming in that year itself. Okay, so hard work never ever goes in vain when it comes to gate preparation. You don't have to depend too much on luck, because you are not going to have 9 to 12 bad days every year. Getting internship in mechanical company will be purely based on the work you have done, how you excel, about based on your project work or extra differentiators. Okay, because if you have developed a good project and presented some papers in some national important conferences and all, your chances of getting internship will be much higher. Now, Indian Engineering Service is both subjective as well as objective. Okay, it is descriptive and objective. Understood? So what happens is, with that gate score between IES, it requires different level of preparation altogether. Okay, even students who secured rank under 50 may not could be able to clear almost all mechanical exams except for IES, because as I've mentioned, there may be derivation part, so preparation should be tuned in that way. So normally what we advise students is try well for gate. Okay, and once you get rank under 100, if you join PSUs or IITs, after that you pursue study for IES. Okay, because preparation is altogether different. Yeah, GR will be explained by our next speaker. I think last year rank up to 250 was 200 something for general category for getting into ONGC. Rank under 200 for getting into ONGC last year. No, MTech by research is purely research based, and MTech by default, all MTechs are TA MTechs, teaching assistant MTechs. So it is helping you to get into teaching. Understand? It's not purely research based. Of course, research component will be higher compared to BTech course. But for RA MTech, research component will be higher than MTech through TA. Now, GATE for engineering science students are limited in PSUs, more for admissions for MTech in top institute. Because, for example, if there are 18 seats for MTech, 12 may be through, I'm just giving an example, 12 may be through GATE score in mechanical, 3 may be through industrial, 1 may be for engineering science, like that. On average, around 300 to 400 students are getting jobs in PSUs every year based on GATE. And on aligned exams like SSC, Railway, ISRO and all, it may go up to 800. Yeah, once again, yes, scorecard. Now, when it comes to a scorecard, it may help you to get into some good universities, okay, but you may not be able to get stipend for that. You won't get gate stipend, but if your score is near to the cutoff, definitely it may be a value addition up to the discretion of the university which is providing admission. Nothing more than that. For getting into ONGC, ONGC is not, I don't think ONGC is conducting their own exam, okay. It is purely through GATE score. I'm not sure about ONGC conducting their exam. Yeah, MS abroad versus MTech in India, our next speaker will be talking about. Now, some students have asked me what is the best option, whether to go for MTech in India or MS abroad. I'll just give my point of view. It varies from person to person. Okay. My point of view will be, if you do MTech in India, right, your fees you have to pay will be very less. And with the exposure, if you are, of course, if you are doing IITs or NITs, the exposure you'll be getting will be much larger. And based on your performance, you can do PhD abroad, maybe with stipend. We have a faculty called Siddiq Kaliyar who was doing MTech. He did his MTech in IIT Madras and he was doing PhD with IIT Madras. After the first semester, okay, after the first year, he was invited to do a collaborative PhD in Paris University, collaboration with IIT Madras. Okay, so he didn't have to spend a single money from his pocket, and he was getting a good grant also for that collaborative PhD. Okay, so money wise, it'll be always advantageous if you do MTech in IITs or NITs and do PhD abroad, but it is based on the universities you get. If you get top university ranked under 500, nothing wrong to go abroad. Yeah, CAT score, mean it is percentile in CAT. Okay, CAT score, it is percentile. You should get around 99.99 percentile for getting into this. 1400 engineering science may be very difficult to get into engineering science. Yeah, mean because for branches like engineering science and all, number of applicants will be very less in number. So your rank should be very small. Same with industrial also. You can apply for defense through, of course, through GATE. You can do to DA defense instead of advanced technology. Also, you can apply for armed forces through university entry scheme. Okay, you can apply to various positions in Army, Navy, and Air Force through university entry scheme. Also, you can write AFCAT exam to get into Air Force. So Infosys and some companies conduct a general drive for all students, but mechanical core recruiters are very, very less in number because vacancies are very less because primarily they rely on experience and then they recruit from IITs and NITs. So generally opportunities are less. So they don't do any general drive, only based on, at times based on GPA, they do recruitment from top college students. Also, based on a LinkedIn profile and based on a project, you can get opportunity to get shortlisted in some companies. And not at this point of time. Maybe, as I've mentioned, Robert Bosch may be conducting. Fine. So I'll again answer the questions after the second webinar also. You have to balance everything because you are getting 24 hours. So somehow you have to balance that because many students say that after online class they don't get time to invest for gate or cat or whatever be. Somehow you have to find time for that. There's no shortcut for hard work. And here the advantage is travel time is reduced, right? You don't have to spend time on traveling. Somehow you have to balance it. And you can also apply through LinkedIn for online internships also. So remaining questions I will take after this because some of the questions may overlap. Mr. Rahul, you are there?
Hi, sir. Yeah, I'm there.
So our next speaker is Rahul Shivakumar. He is a mechanical engineer, worked as energy engineer at Tata Engineering and Industrial Services, alumni of College of Engineering Trivandrum. He did his MS in Renewable Energy, Technical University of Berlin, one of the top ranked university in the globe. Okay, and he's working as energy consultant in Berlin. So a couple of weeks before, through a mutual friend, I had happened to meet him. Okay, so we were discussing about how to provide good opportunities to mechanical students. So what usually happen is many consultancies, what they do is they only stress the courses where they gain more commissions. Understand? So we were thinking about providing a platform for students, especially for government universities where there's no fees involved. Understand? So I thought of inviting him as a speaker for this so that he can address these issues and guide you to better direction. So over to you, Rahul, please take over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll just try sharing my screen and then I will start. So first of all, thank you, Aswin sir, for this opportunity because because I have been looking for such an opportunity to address students from Kerala, especially mechanical engineering students, because I'm from that background. And this was a nice session from you because I also got many information of what are the opportunities that we still have in India. So that was a really good session from you. So hope everyone is safe and healthy. I know the COVID situation there. Let's pray that everything comes back to the normal set soon. Let's hope for that. Okay, so hope I am audible now. Everyone can hear me. Yeah. So already Aswin sir has given an idea on what are the prospects for a mechanical engineer in India, like after their studies or after their graduation. So I'll be mainly focusing on what are the prospects or what are the advantages that you can get as a mechanical engineer if you choose or if you opt to study outside India. But I will be mainly focusing on the Europe side because that's where my experience come in. But I will be also mentioning about the prospective countries soon. But Europe will be where I will be focusing more on. Okay, so to start with, let's see the prospective countries where mechanical engineers have an go. You can see I've also mentioned the average tuition fee that each country incurs for a student if you want to study. Uh, but one thing, since all of you are already graduate students, I am here mentioning about the courses like the postgraduate courses or the master courses here. So this cost which comes here are for master courses in these places. And this data I collected from not from anywhere from net, but from people who are studying there. My friends who are there from places, I asked them, okay, what is the average tuition fee which you are paying in these places? So you can see USA is a good option, UK is a good option, but you see the amount down. I'm not mentioning about that, but this is how, and on average, how much you have to end up paying as tuition fees. Then you can see Australia coming. Yeah, Australia is a good place for mechanical engineers. I have many friends who actually study there. You have an average tuition fee coming around 30 lakhs, but there are scholarship opportunities there. Then you can see Canada. To tell this, you know that if you take Canada, there are a lot of students going to Canada nowadays. After studies, they just fly to Canada. But in my point, for a mechanical engineer, to work in Canada in the core sector, it's not that easy because all people end up doing management jobs. But for a mechanical engineer, they have to write their own exams there in Canada. They have a government exam which you have to go there and pass to work in a mechanically reputed company or in a government service company there where you get paid, really paid high. But Canada is again an option for PGDM courses, for management courses if you want to give a try. The course comes around this is again the tuition fees coming around 25 lakhs. Then it comes to Europe. You can see Netherlands. Yes, we have some very good top public universities in Netherlands. The average tuition fees is coming around 25 lakhs. Again, some of the good universities are like TU Delft. You have your 2020 universities where they offer some really good courses in mechanical engineering. Where you name a sector in mechanical, you have a course in Europe or in Netherlands, I must say. Then France. France, you see, if you compare, you see the education fee is very, very less. Why? Because a lot of universities here are actually funded by the government and they have a severe lack of skilled laborers or skilled engineers. So that's why they promote people coming out of their country to come study here and work in there. But again, when it comes to France, the only disadvantage which I see personally is the language. Because unlike other countries actually, people don't speak much of English there. So it will be, and they don't offer much of English courses. So you have to initially go for some French classes and then you have to go there. That's a problem with France. And Italy, it's the same like France. You have a similar kind of application process. You have a similar kind of requirements and stuffs. And then I come to Germany. So Germany is where I studied. So I have a lot of information on Germany actually here. If you see here, almost 80% of the courses are funded by the government. I mean public universities. So you end up paying very, very less tuition fee compared to all other countries in the world. And another misconception is that people think that you need to know German if you want to come and study here. But the truth is, even if the 80% of the courses here in Germany are in English. So if you have an English proficiency, you can come to Germany and study. But I always recommend that you have because if you want to come and live here, you should know German. That's a thing. But if you want to come and study here, Germany is a good option because you have English courses happening here. You can study the course in English and you will be here in Germany. And the tuition fees is much, much less compared to other parts. So in general, I can tell of all this, Europe comes into if you take 100 students, almost 80 students opt for Europe, especially mechanical engineers, because of the opportunities, because of the variety of courses they have. and also the tuition fee, considering the tuition fees. UK was also in the similar thing, but 1 year before UK had exit from the European Union, and because of the Brexit issues, so now their costs have gone really up. So that's why I think Europe is a good option, and I will be mainly focusing on what is the what are the advantages that you get if you come to Europe to study, or to I must say, after studies, what are the job prospects that you have, and all those stuff. So to start with, why Europe? I think the first point, you can see the pioneers in technological innovation. I don't think I need to put a lot of stress on this, because you name a company, you name a product, you name anything in engineering, the best comes out of Europe. We say it's automotive, whether it's civil, electrical, electronics, all those, any company you name, the best comes out of Europe. So they are really pioneers in technological innovation. More than 600,000 job opportunities and still growing. I will comment on this point later, because I have a slide coming soon. So just note the numbers. Yes, it's huge. You have opportunities here, above 76% employment rate. This rate thing is, I think it's a percentage of how many of the population here are employed. Not being negative here, but in India, if you take the average employment rate, it is around 39 to 40%. It may be because of the population, because we have a huge population. But again, if you see, it's 76%, because here the government makes sure that almost everyone should have a job, because there are agencies here which make sure that it's not only for the citizens here, but the person who is coming from other countries who have studied here, they make sure that you try to get a job here. If you have the right skills, they help you try match to the skills. So that's why they have a good employment rate here. Then the social security, I think it's clear again. You take the medicine, the insurance part, or you take the education part. Everything is offered by the government. Free education is what they offer. On a long run, if you have a family here, the education of your kids is also free here. So all such advantages what you have in Europe, because of the social security which the government actually offers. I know, because this social security, you may not be thinking, because you're all graduate students. I understand that, but still, it's something which makes Europe a good place to come to. Work-life balance. I must tell, if in Europe they say 9 to 6, if the working hour is from 9 to 6, they work from 9 to 6. And they make sure that they balance it. I have never seen a German guy or a French guy working out of their time period. They make sure that they finish their work, or if they have a deadline coming, they plan accordingly, but they seriously take their personal life very seriously. But they give time for their personal things. So there is what do you call this, work-life balance is going really good here. So that's one of the major thing which surprised me coming from India, actually. Immigrant-friendly laws. I must tell you this, because if you take Canada, USA, Australia, I mean, these are all the prospective areas. But when you come to Europe, the chances of getting a rejected visa, or chance of someone rejecting your visa, is very less compared to US or Canada. Why? Because if you have all your documents ready, if everything is okay, they don't mind giving you a visa. So because of the laws here, because of the immigrant laws here, even if you apply for a student visa, I've seen like out of 10 students applying for visa to US, sometimes 6 gets it, 4 gets rejected. But in Europe, if all your documents are ready, and if your background is, everything is clear, if 10 of them apply, 10 of them clear the visa interview. That's why I tell the immigrant laws are very friendly here. And public funded colleges. As I already told, why the fees, the tuition fees here is pretty much low. And one of the reasons for the public colleges, again, be very careful on this, because there are 2 types of universities in Europe. That is public universities and private universities. Public universities are the universities which are funded by the government, and the fees are very, very low. The only fees which you have to pay is for the administration. But in case of private, they take huge fees. As Ashwin sir already mentioned, there are some, not being negative to other consultancies or something, but they really work on a commission basis with these private universities, and they tell, okay, you have to pay this much, and they work on a commission basis, and they don't even care about the public universities because they don't get commission. But my point is, there is a huge opportunity for the public colleges here. People, if you have the required requirements, which I will be sharing soon, you can come here and study, and it's a pretty good environment here to study. So that's why that's all about the public funded university. So always beware of these public universities in Germany, and you don't need German to study in public funded colleges. You can study in English. So that's one point which I wanted to stress. On education, again, excellence in teaching and research. This is something, being an average student from India, I must tell you, because here the way they teach or the way they do something is pretty different. I must tell, it's not being again negative to the Indian system, but there is more conceptual learning happening here. Only if you know the concepts clear, you can pass the examinations. It's not at all about knowing formulas, because here, after coming here for masters, I haven't even marked up a formula in my head. It's all about you can write down the formulas and go to an examination if you really want to, and then you do it. So that's why it's called problem-oriented learning or a conceptual learning, because you know the concepts, you pass the examination, and you get good marks. Teachers, professors are of high standards. They have their own research wings under them. So if you have a good ideas, you go to them. They sponsor you for the research, or they do it. So such opportunities are also available. Then comes opportunities for intellectual and personal development. Unlike in other parts, here you need to study, like you need to attend class only for 3 days a week. You don't have classes every day. You have to start, like, go for 3 weeks a day, and rest of the time you get for your personal needs, or you, and they don't what do you call ask you to do a lot of homeworks or something. It's all, you go to the class, you sit there, if you listen to them, you understand the concepts, you study for the exam, you got it. 3 days a week. Rest of the time here, what we do is go for part-time jobs, try to get some additional skills if you want. We have time for everything. That's what it's called. There is a lot for personal development here because of the time which we get. And another thing is internship and work student. Here, internships are mandatory. If you want to actually pass or succeed in the master course here, you have to do a mandatory internship. And that internship has got credits, and the university gives around 6 months for this internship. So that's a big opportunity which we all who wish to come here gets, when, as far as internship is concerned. And work student is something like a contract which you can sign with companies while you are a student, where you can work in such companies as work student. Like, it's, again, you will do whatever the real employees are doing, but only for a limited time, because of your how much, there's a limited amount of time which you can do based on your visa regulations. But again, you come to know what are the real industry, what is kind of happening in the real industry, how they are working, and stuff like that. So that's how the education system works here. Then on the student life, I think I already covered this point. Study life balance, I already covered this point. Like, you get time for everything. Part-time job opportunities, here you can work part-time in whatever sector you want. You want to work in restaurants, you can do that. You want to work in big companies as engineers, you can do that as part-time. It all depends on what you want and how you apply. So again, on the accommodation and stuff, yes, here there are all the international students are offered student accommodation from the government, and you have to pay, as compared to other rents. The student accommodation rents are very, very low. It's pretty low because the government actually pays for it. So you find admission in a public university, you go to the student hostel, you have to pay really less accommodation. Then on the scholarships, at this point, I must stress, this is purely based on merit. It really depends on your mark. It really depends on what you have achieved. It really depends on your motivational letter. There is something known as a motivational letter, or a statement of purpose, which you have to write for almost all foreign colleges. Like if you want to get admitted to a foreign university, you have to write. That's a mandatory document known as statement of purpose or letter of motivation, where you write uh, what's the motivation behind you in applying this for this course. So that clearly that stands out actually. So that actually how you write the motivation letter, your mark, everything plays an important role in getting a scholarship. So it's not that easy, but again, you have opportunities. There are many platforms which actually offer student scholarships here. Then student benefits, concessions in various sectors. I must tell you this, like uh, here students, if you're a student, you have got a lot of you get a lot of concessions actually. For travel, you get a card from the university here, be it anywhere in Europe, you get a card from the university with which you can travel in the city for free. So that's one concession. And wherever you visit in Europe or in any of the big places, like you say the leaning at the Pisa Tower, or the everywhere you get a reduction for students. If you are a student, you get almost 50% discount. So that's one thing. Freedom of travel. It's not a point to stress on, but still you get a Schengen visa if you apply for Europe. You with Schengen visa you can travel around 27 countries here. So that's one thing. Intercultural development. You can see people from all parts of the world here. You name the country, you can see. That's how it is. So it's an opportunity for you to learn and to see new things, how the other culture actually works, how other language works, how other people think, all those things. This is something which I found really interesting once when I came here. So that's one point in the student life. And next, coming to the job market. So again, of all the countries in Europe, I must say Germany has got the largest number of jobs. It is one of the financial hub of Europe, actually. And once you complete a degree anywhere in Europe, you get 18 months job search visa after your graduation. That is around 1.5 years, where you can stay at that place and search for a job. And if you try to find a job, within 24 months, you are able to, or you will be able to get a PR. That is a permanent residence. Permanent residence means that's a long-term visa. You can, if you find a right work at the right time, and you pay taxes for 2 years, you get the PR, and then it's totally different story. You can stay here actually. So that's one thing which the offers, the European Union offers. Then yes, of course, the payment for a fresher, I must tell you, it's one of the places where even freshers are paid good. You end up signing a contract with the company, you will be paid good for engineering and also for the service page jobs. And another way in which you can go is actually it's not only for a mechanical engineer, you have done your BTech, you have come here for masters, then there will be two options for you. One option which I tell is to go for research. You can apply for PhD, you can go for doctorate works, you do your research and you can go in that way. Here, even companies pay you money for research, or you can sign up with universities and you can work with them. Another way is you can go for a direct job, attending interviews, you get a contract, you go for jobs. The third option which I found unique in Europe is the support for startups. If you have a good idea, or if you're really good at something, I must tell you, even if you are a foreigner, you can start a company. You can start a company here with zero cost, because to register a company, you need not pay anything. It's almost zero. So these are some of the support which the government offers here. So this is how the job market works actually. So you have a lot of options. You can go into industrial area, you go into research, you can go for startups. So this is how it works here. On the hiring trend, on the opportunities in mechanical engineering. So since you're all graduates doing SS, you already know what are the different sectors in which you can go. You name that, you search that keyword, you get a course here. These are some of the what do you call relevant or one of the very good sectors in mechanical engineer, which I felt are generally like there are a lot of courses in these sectors. If you say automotive, manufacturing, robotics and automation, systems and control, energy and process technology, HVAC. HVAC is heat ventilation and air conditioning, building energy systems, aerospace, material science. You have a lot of courses, a lot of free public funded colleges offering these courses here. I must say there are a lot of Indian, actually, if you take India as a whole, there are a lot of people coming into automotive and energy technology nowadays. There are a lot of applications for this nowadays. So these are the opportunities which you have in the field of mechanical engineering, actually. And on the hiring trend, I must tell this because Corona has really affected the world market. It's not only India, it's not only Europe, but it has affected the whole market. But there was effect. I must tell you, one last year was very, very, very bad here in Europe. There were not much job opportunities. There were not much recruitment going on because all were reluctant to come into go into new projects or to recruit someone. So there was this effect. But slowly, what is happening here in Europe is since vaccinations and other stuffs are happening, this thing is coming down. The number of cases are coming down, and slowly we are opening. So there is a market recovery happening now. So it's expected that in another 3 to 4 months, everything comes back to normal, and you start getting a lot of options for jobs actually. So there is a effect. There was an effect for the past 1 year, but it's changing. And I must tell you this because as per the as per the German Statistic Bureau, it is expected that in 2024, there is a huge population of people from Europe, in specific to Germany, I must tell, that going to retire from the engineering sector. And that means there is going to be a huge void coming into the engineering industry. And they really need skilled people from other countries. They really need people in the engineering sector to actually come and fill into this place. So that is in 2023-24. So this, I personally, I believe this is the right time for anyone who is coming, who's planning to come outside India and to invest in their studies. This is the right time because there is a huge void going to come in the future. It is expected to happen so. So that means there is a basic requirement of almost 100,000 immigrants. Here you can see from, as I mentioned, from non-EU countries every year. Why non-EU? Because the people come because if you take Germany, there will be people coming from France, there will be people come from Italy, have to work, but they tend to work for short terms. That is a trend which has been happening till now. They go back to their home countries. So they need people who really wants to come and settle here. That's why they rely on immigrants from non-EU countries. So there is, as per this statistical report, it is around 100,000 is the demand which is going to come in the near future. So I must say this is the right time to invest on your studies. You say if you do a master's here now, in 2 years, that's going to be 2023. And if you have this market, then it's going to be a perfect match. Yeah, and admission requirements. This is again general requirements with reference to Europe because almost all European universities function like this. So a minimum CGPA of 6.5. This is what I see in almost 85% of the colleges. 85% of the colleges have their minimum CGPA limit as 6.5. So if you have a CGPA of around 6.5, you are eligible to apply in European universities. And as I told, there are a lot of, or 80% of the courses are in English. So you need to prove your proficiency in English. And that it can be proved by IELTS examination or TOEFL. Or even some universities take this letter known as MOI, that is medium of instruction letter, where you can actually get a certificate from your previous studies telling that your previous studies was in English. That's also an option. And graduate certificates, that means for people who are in S6, also can apply now. And for people in S7, S8, if for people who have just passed out, they can apply for a professional certificates and can apply now. For S6, they can get a conditional offer saying that they will be completing their studies in 1 year and they have to be completing at the right time. That's all. So there are options for S6 students and actually the final year students who are already completed or who are going to complete. They can apply for they can start applying for universities in Europe. And for the other students, for second year students or other things, they can actually get prepared. If you really want to go out and study, they can really start preparing on how what are the requirements. They can understand what is the course they want to go. They can get an idea and they can focus on that and build your skills according to that, so that at the right time you apply, you get the admission. So that's one thing. And so another thing is a detailed CV. Yes, you know what is a CV? Is a resume with the tabular content of what you have done in the chronological order. A letter of recommendations, it's also known as LOR. Short form is LOR. It's a recommendation letter from your professor, or if you have done an internship, you get a LOR from LOR from your some supervisor in your company. So both are valid. Statement of purpose and letter of motivation. I already gave you an idea previously. It is a letter of motivation which you have to write, telling how motivated are you for this particular course or why you want to study in Europe or something like that. So next point, GATE and GRE scores are advantages. Why? Because since the past 2 years, there have been a lot of applications from India. So what the European Union has decided is actually to bring some kind of a filtering, not for every courses. This is for some courses only. They have identified GATE. Nowadays, GATE has been identified as a good examination outside India, because for people coming from India, actually. Why? I am not telling that you people should be getting high ranks or something. But if you can get a good score, if you have a GATE scorecard, that can be used as can be advantages for you to apply somewhere here in Europe. So that's one point. GRE is graduate record examinations, for almost all universities, not in Europe, but for almost all universities in US or in US, in Australia too. You need to write this GRE examinations, and the GRE examination consists of the quantitative part and the English part, and you have to score some marks like about written. I think it's good score. I hope so. But in Germany, there are some universities, or in Europe, there are some universities which take GRE scores. Not every university. Some universities takes the quantitative marks as a criteria. But if you can write a GRE score and have a GRE score, that is always good for your application to universities outside, because that gives an idea on how serious you are, or how much serious you are to in applying to other countries outside India. Then on the preliminary language level, I told you, if you want to come and study in Europe, you don't need to you can study in English. But my personal opinion is, if you have decided to come to Germany or say France or Italy, it's good that if you have a preliminary knowledge, because you have to come here, you have to see people, there are some things which you have to learn. So all those things are happening. So that preliminary language level is always advantageous. Yeah, and so as I told, I'm actually working, during my free time, I actually do some freelance consultancy for students. That's how. That's why actually I am here. So this is something which we saw, like I myself support. For few students, I've already done this, how to write a motivation letter, how to prepare a resume, exclusive for application to Europe. I'm telling. Then how to select the universities in which all parts you can go. Then how to, once you get an admission, then how to go for the visas, how to go for the accommodation, how to find part-time jobs here. Then basic orientation or language training is also something which I give tips on how you can do that, or how you can. These are all my supports which I can offer.